Want to protect your bike and its engine while on the trail? That's what we're going to do today. I've got the clutch and ignition cover from Acerbis. You guys can see that here. Part of the reason I went with this one over the others, besides price, it was a good price, and I think it looks really sweet, is it has these right here, which on my bike is the area that I've messed up. Those are the coolant lines, and I've got a big gouge in one of them from a time I dropped the bike on the trail, and immediately I was like, I should probably get that taken care of. So that's why I picked this up. I think I got these on Rocky Mountain ATV, and I think they were like 60, 65 bucks, something like that. And so here's the other side as well. So we've got those. It comes with a little decal and some bushings. I know from watching another video that the bushings are what we're going to do first, but I haven't read the instructions yet. The only instructions it comes with are these little one-page instructions. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at these, and then I'll just walk you guys through the process. It should be a pretty straightforward, simple install. Alright, so I'm ready to actually take off some of the first screws from the engine, and all we're going to use here is just a 5mm hex. I've got a socket version here just to make my life a little bit easier, but that's really all you need for tools. And so we're going to go ahead and take off some screws. I'm going to put the plate up here and kind of visualize which ones need to come out. Alright, so we're just going to put this up. Yeah, those bushings aren't in there real good. I'm going to have to do a better job on that before I lose them. But anyways, let's put this up. Kind of goes into place, and that way we can see which ones we need to take out. So it looks like one there, and then one here, one there. So that and that is what we're going to take out. Alright, so this one is different. That one's shorter. Let's go ahead and try and put this on. Those bushings never really sat in there. I really pushed on them. So I'm just trying to be careful that that doesn't happen. Dang it. Alright, I forgot to film actually getting this on, but what ended up doing the trick for me was the bushings just kept falling off. You guys saw that. Didn't matter how hard I pushed, whatever, they weren't seating in there, so I just took a little bit of LocTite because it was right next to me. I didn't have to get up out of my seat. That's how I roll. I got a little bit of LocTite and just put a drop on the back of each bushing, and I figured the tackiness of the LocTite would be enough to get it on there, and sure as heck, that was what did the trick. I was able to get it on there then. So now, get these started by hand. And actually, let's see. And actually what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of LocTite on each one of these as well, as good practice. The instructions talk about it snapping into place, which I have not experienced yet, so we'll see if it actually does. I don't know about snapping. I think that's that might be all the snapping we get. So anyways, just going to get these tightened by hand. And then the instruction manual is called to use a torque wrench for 10 Newton meters, or that's 89 pound-inches, or inch-pounds rather. So I'm going to go ahead and get a torque wrench and torque this on. I can't find my torque wrench, so I'm just going to tighten these on there to what feels good. It's not much. All right. All right, that's a look at it. The Acerbis engine cover. This is the side with the coolant lines, and you can see right through this little window where that ding and that gouge is. So it fully protects those pipes all the way up to the hoses, which is exactly why I got this one. And get my little trail jack out, and I'm going to use that to lean the bike in the other direction so I can do this without leaking oil. So for this, we just need to find a place that we want to lean it, and we have to adjust the height. All right, stupid of me, but when I put it on the trail jack, I left the bike out of gear. Stupid. So the bike could roll backwards. So I put it in first gear so the bike can't roll backwards, and then I just took a zip strip and zip stripped the front brake on so that it can't roll forward. So now it's locked in and I can work on the other side. Duh. I'll be honest, I don't like looking at the bike with it tipped that direction, but it should be fine. Yeah. We'll just be careful, but I think it's going to be just fine. Same thing here. Same process, really. Let me bring you guys a little closer. Same process, really. I'm just going to match up and see which of these bolts I need to take out, but I think it's pretty evident already. Damn bushings. Well, it looks like the vent tubes here kind of get in the way a little bit. We'll see how that works. All right, so let's see if you can see this. Got that. Just one little drop. That seems to be sufficient to get it to just kind of stick in place long enough to get it screwed in. All right, went on. That LocTite Trick works really well. So now we'll just put the screws back in again. Let's put some LocTite on there. All right, well that's it. We just got to put these lines back in. Well, they're not as flat in there as they were before. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but they're kind of more stacked than they are next to each other like they were before. But besides some dust, because it's dusty where I live, I think we're done. Let's take a look. All right, so you can see on this side, the Acerbis cover covers the entire outside here, and you still get into the oil just fine. Here's those lines, like I was saying, they run through these little plastic grips here, and instead of laying flat, they're kind of stacked, but it doesn't really matter. They're not pinched off or anything. And so there's that piece of protection. Really the other side, like I was saying, is the part I was more concerned about.